This story kicks off in the middle of absolute carnage, with bodies slumped over a dinner table, and a young man steps through the bloody aftermath, the destruction reflected in broken glass. He looks down at his hands in horror, whispering, "What is happening to me?" Staring out at the burning city, he cannot process the scale of the devastation, realizing with dawning dread that he might be the one who caused all of this. He chokes out the words, his voice breaking. So why did it end up like this? But in the next instant, his entire demeanor shifts into something cold and terrifyingly confident, as this other version of him unleashes an apocalyptic blast of energy on the world below, and with a gasp, our boy Minghuan jolts awake in a cold sweat. It was all a nightmare, but the feeling of that immense power lingers. He clutches his throat, shaken to his core, thinking, did I have the same nightmare again? Before he can even process it, a mechanical voice echoes in his cell. Restricted class ability user number 1002. This voice announces his instructor is here and that he must prepare to be questioned. A man in a suit enters, dropping a casual but deadly threat. We tend to snuff out potential threats at the source. He leans in, trying to intimidate the kid, saying, not everyone here is as tolerant of you as I am. This guy offers a deal, just admit how dangerous you are and cooperate and maybe you will be fine. But Minghuan just looks up, playing dumb, and asks, ability. He fires back with pure defiance. You dragged me here saying I am dangerous, so why do not you tell me what my ability is? This instructor's smile is chilling as he replies, our evaluation says you may even destroy the world. And then he drops the final bomb. By the way, I have been asking around at the orphanage where you used to live. This instructor starts digging into his past, saying, they say you used to wrap yourself in tissues so the other kids called you a monster, and that he heard from the staff that our boy loved sneaking off to play games in the computer room. He leans in with a terrifying smile, asking, is that true? Minghuan just stares back. You want to know, right? Well, that is exactly why I am here. Then he drops his own condition. Let me out and I will tell you everything. This instructor's face goes completely cold, not even entertaining the thought for a second. Instead, he reveals their theory. Our tests say you can affect reality, and since you love games, your ability is probably game-related. He even speculates it might create a game stage to help him understand his own power. But Minghuan has heard this script before, snapping back. Are you a robot? You say the same thing every time. This instructor just sighs, standing up to leave. Looks like you still do not get it. We are done for today. As the door starts to close, our boy desperately yells. Wait, he is finally breaking, shouting. Of course I know my situation. You have had me locked up for a whole month, reaching out as he pleads. When can I finally leave this place? This instructor just gives him a patronizing non-answer. If you are a good kid and cooperate, then maybe. And as the door seals shut, he finishes the line. Once you have grown up, you can leave. This chilling implication hits Minghuan like a truck, his eyes glowing as he realizes he is never getting out of here alive. He thinks, by the time I qualify, I will already be a corpse, and slams his fist against the wall in pure rage. But the wall does not just crack, it shatters like glass, revealing a system message. Welcome, our number one player. He is suddenly pulled into a bizarre digital space, surrounded by floating shards and a grid stretching into infinity. Now floating in this strange new world, he can only ask, what is this? He suddenly remembers the instructor's words, thinking, wait, he said my ability would be game-related. And as he takes a step on the digital floor, it hits him. So, this is my ability. Just then, a system message blasts through the space, infinite split game loading complete. This game is literally building itself around him, prompting him to create his character. It presents him with his first choice, Gu Wenyu, a C-rank ability user with a mysterious power. His backstory, a high schooler who awakened the ability to control pitch-black restraints, and slowly realized the family he has lived with for 10 years is hiding something massive. This second option is Andre, a D-rank curio wielder who hunts for mysterious shards around the world. This system drops the bombshell. He has to choose one to become his avatar in the real world. And with a cold, calculating smirk, our boy makes his decision. He picks the ability user Gu Wenyu, but now he has to choose a path, hero, villain, or gray character. Without a second of hesitation, he picks C, the gray path, walking the line between good and evil. As the system generates his new life, his master plan starts forming. He thinks, I can use this character to find the bastards who locked me up. And as a gray character, he will have the perfect cover to get the intel he needs to burn them to the ground. This final countdown begins. 3, 2, 1. He gasps, feeling sunlight on his skin for the first time in a month, whispering, this is sunlight. He is in a classroom, surrounded by students cheering for summer break. He is actually free. But as he takes in his new surroundings, his face fills with shock, and he slams his hand on the desk, standing up abruptly. He stumbles to the window, his mind reeling as he whispers, this place. It is a school, a city, the real world right outside his window. This sheer relief washes over him as he realizes, I actually made it out. It is not a dream, it is not a simulation, he is finally free. But before he can even take a breath, an arm slings around his shoulder, startling him. It is his new character's best friend casually asking, Gu Wenyu, wanna come over to my place later? Just then, a system alert flashes in his vision, warning him a massive memory data dump is about to pour in. An entire lifetime of memories, emotions, and relationships floods his mind in a single, agonizing second. His new friend looks on, completely worried, asking, "Gu Wenyu, are you okay?" As the data transfer completes, our boy is now fully integrated into this new identity. He plays it off with a smirk. "I am fine, just slept too long, my head kind of hurts." But he immediately brushes the guy off, saying, "I have got something to do today, I will come over another time." He walks out, leaving his best friend confused in the empty classroom. His friend yells after him from the window, "Hey, where are you going?" But Minghuan does not look back, already focused on his next move. He runs out into the open, dropping his bag, screaming internally. The air, the temperature, this is all real. And as the adrenaline settles, the true scale of what he has done begins to sink in. He realizes he did not just escape. He used his ability to literally rewrite history and insert himself into this world. This is the butterfly effect in action, a single choice that will trigger a massive chain reaction. And he knows it, thinking to himself, a power that can rewrite the world itself is just way too broken. He just lets out a cold laugh, realizing that if the lab ever finds out about this, his real body is never seeing the light of day again. But that is a problem for later, because right now he is checking out his new avatar's abilities. And what better way to test them than by jumping off a skyscraper? As he plummets, a pitch-black energy erupts from his arm, his eyes glowing red as he taps into this brand new power. It explodes around him in a torrent of dark tendrils, revealing his new C-rank ability, Black Restraint Straps. He's not falling anymore, he is practically flying, weaving these shadow whips with a single thought. This power feels completely natural, an extension of his own will, letting him swing through the city like some kind of dark hero. This is the freedom he has been dreaming of for a month, and a few people on the street actually spot a dark blur shooting past overhead. One guy asks his girlfriend, "Did you just see a UFO or something?" While our boy is just laughing his head off, soaring above them all, he thinks to himself, "The name is kinda lame, but this ability is actually pretty sweet." Using his new powers, he zips across the city with a clear destination in mind. He lands silently on the roof of the Lijing Welfare Home, his old orphanage, confirming, it really is right here. The first step of his revenge has begun. He remembers staring out of this exact window as a kid, dreaming of the outside world he could never reach. But that was then, and this is now. He arrives at his new avatar's home, a concept so foreign to him he has never really known it. According to the memories, this family is simple: parents, an older brother, and a younger sister. But the backstory is anything but simple. 5 years ago, his new mother was killed by an elite Esper organization. His father fell into a deep depression and has not been seen in 2 years, leaving him to deal with just his new brother and sister. As he goes to open the door, his eyes catch something strange. A system icon is literally floating on the doorknob. He touches it and the game interface instantly pops up. It is a full-blown menu with a dungeon list, character info, and even a system lottery. He's got a stats panel, a skill tree, and a list of available quests, and that is the part that gets his attention. He reaches for the door, but before he can even open it, a voice from inside says, "Little bro, I have been waiting for you forever." At the same time, his quest log explodes with objectives. Investigate his best friend, his father, and his sister. This final quest, investigate what his brother Guke is hiding, who is standing right there holding a massive bloody knife. His brother just smiles. "You are back pretty early today." And with a creepy grin he adds, "I have already made dinner, eat it while it is hot." Our boy just freezes, staring at the blood dripping from that blade. He has walked right into a nightmare. He plays it cool, trying to ignore the blood, asking, "Looking at you, did you really cook all this?" But he sits down anyway, forcing a smile and saying, "Wow, it actually looks pretty good." His brother just smirks back, asking the one question he did not want to hear, "Where's your little sis? Did not she come back with you?" He parrots the lines from his new memories, explaining she is at a friend's, but internally he is thinking, "I have no idea what this family is actually hiding." His brother suddenly gets up, saying he is tired and leaving him alone, which is somehow even more terrifying. The second he is gone, the system menu pops right back up, showing him his character's skill tree. And the first skill is a hidden one, Restraint Sense, an ability that lets him see and hear through solid objects. This other options are just as broken. One extends his range, and another lets him scan people's stats. With only one skill point, he knows exactly what he needs, the one that is perfect for spying and tracking. Just as he's about to make his choice, a late-night news report flashes on the screen. It is about a hero codenamed Blue Ark who stopped a major crime downtown. This report mentions the Ability Users Association, an official organization for Espers. And it turns out this Blue Ark guy is one of the top-ranked heroes in the entire city. This gives him a chilling thought. Could this so-called hero association be the same group that locked up his real body? He decides right then and there is no more time to waste. He immediately spends his skill point, unlocking the Restraint Sense ability. His vision instantly transforms into a digital grid, mapping out the entire apartment in his mind. He realizes with a single thought he can now spy on any room he wants. Suddenly a quest reward pops up, a split point, a skill point, and a stat point. And the description for the split point is absolutely insane. It lets him create a whole new character in the real world. He's not just creating a new character, he is literally building an army of one. This means in the future he will be able to control multiple god-tier avatars at the exact same time. But before he can even process that, his new restraint sense picks up a voice on a walkie-talkie. And it is coming directly from his brother's room. Inside, Gukia is furious, getting called for another mission. He is already wounded, pleading, "Give me a break, I just fought a criminal and came home to rest." But the voice on the other end is dead serious. A villain named Green Wing has taken hostages and is calling him out by name. For every 10 minutes he is late, someone dies. Looks like tonight there is no rest for the hero. Activates his power, a blue visor materializing around his head, and in a flash of light he transforms into the city's top hero, Blue Ark. Our boy is just watching this whole thing unfold, a smirk on his face as he realizes. "So that is who you are." His comms crackle again, warning him they're about to execute the first hostage. He just calmly says, "Got it," telling his team to stall for time while he is on his way. And with a single word, he blasts out of the room like a lightning bolt. Minghuan is actually impressed, thinking, "Damn, even wounded he is that fast." Just like that, his first quest is complete, but the system immediately throws a new one at him: team up with Blue Ark. He just sighs, realizing the system is dragging him right into the city's biggest messes. Meanwhile, at the hostage situation, the cops are getting nervous, wondering where their hero is. This villain is agitated, and with the clock ticking, they are all asking the same question: can Blue Ark even make it in time? On the rooftop, one of the hostages is breaking down in tears, held at gunpoint by one of Green Wing's heavily armed goons. This villain himself is screaming into the night, "Blue Ark, how long do you plan on hiding? In 10 seconds we execute the first hostage." And with a twisted grin, he starts the countdown. 10, 9. The seconds tick away as he hovers over the city, his voice echoing through the streets. But just as he hits 2, a bolt of lightning crashes onto the scene. Blue Ark has arrived. Green Wing just laughs, mocking him. "Look who we have here, Lijiang City's prince, always in the spotlight." But Blue Ark is not impressed, asking him, "What exactly are you trying to do?" This villain lays out his simple terms: surrender and the hostages live. Blue Ark just points and hits him with the coldest line: "Why do not I just save them first and then take you down?" But Green Wing reveals his trump card. The hostages are strapped with time bombs, and his partner with the detonator is hidden in the crowd. He taunts him. "You have seen so many people die already, you are hardly going to miss a few more, right? This is bad." Blue Ark knows if he was not already injured from his last fight, he could handle this, but tonight, he is not at full power. One of the hostages bravely yells out, "Do not surrender to him, Blue Ark," which just pisses the villain off, who screams at her to be quiet. This poor girl is terrified, shrinking back in fear. Green Wing has had enough, ordering his man, "I am out of patience, fire, make the choice for him." Blue Ark lunges forward in a panic, screaming, "Wait, do not," but his partner just stands there, confused, asking, "What are you doing? Did not you hear me?" Because in that split second, his rifle is sent flying out of his hands by an unseen force. This goon starts choking, grabbed by some kind of shadowy purple tendril he cannot even see, and both Blue Ark and Green Wing are just staring, completely baffled by what is happening. Suddenly, all of Green Wing's men are being lifted into the air by this mysterious power. Even the hostage is looking up in shock, wondering who just saved her life. That is when they see him. A new player has entered the game, descending from the sky. It is our boy Minghuan, looking down on them with the most arrogant smirk you have ever seen. Green Wing immediately loses it, screaming at Blue Ark, "He is with you, I will detonate the bombs." But Blue Ark is just as lost, telling him, "No, he is not with us." This villain does not care, repeating his threat to blow the hostages up if this new guy does not back off. And as everyone asks, then who is he? Our boy just stands there, a system notification popping up for his social superstar training. His first quest, make a friend, and he is literally thinking, "Socializing, huh, this is tough for me." Green Wing is still screaming, threatening to wipe out half the city if he does not get his way. So our boy consults his little book on socializing, which tells him to act like the other person to build a connection. Got it. He then looks up and hits Green Wing with the most condescending line: "Relax, if you really have the guts to blow everyone up, go ahead," adding with a smirk, "though I doubt you're stupid enough to actually do it." He lays out the cold, hard truth: if the hostages die, you lose your only bargaining chip. Who do you think will be in the worst position then? Green Wing is just seething, completely at a loss for words. He finally manages to threaten him: "Let my men go, or I will kill you." And Minghuan just snaps his fingers, casually saying, "All right then, as you wish." Instantly, the tendrils tighten, choking the life out of the goon. This guy is definitely not a hero. Green Wing is absolutely stunned, watching this newcomer just casually murder one of his men. This goon's body dissolves into nothing but a black stain on the rooftop. And our boy just hits him with the coldest line: "See, I did exactly what you asked, I let him go." He even has the audacity to ask, "So Mr. Green Wing, why do you look so unhappy?" This remaining goons are on their knees, completely paralyzed with fear. Even Blue Ark is just standing there, speechless at the sheer brutality he just witnessed. Green Wing is seething, barely able to get out the words, "You little," but Minghuan is just looking up, thinking to himself, "Looks like I messed that up." He literally decides, forget it, bad guys are too hard to get along with. I will just switch to socializing with a justice-type person instead. His shadowy tendrils then snake over to the hostages, who are bracing for the worst. This poor girl is absolutely terrified, thinking she is about to die. But instead, the tendrils just drop the severed heads of the other goons right in front of her. He then asks her, they were holding you at gunpoint. Do not you feel any resentment? Now it is your turn. Which just makes her scream in pure horror, clutching the other hostage. Yeah, this is not working. A system warning pops up, telling him his roll deviation is getting dangerously high and he needs to be more moderate to win trust. He is genuinely confused, thinking, socializing is harder than I thought. What now? So their heads back on. And in a move that shocks everyone, his tendrils start reassembling the bodies. With a snap of his fingers, he puts them all back together, proudly saying, perfect, good as new. His hostages are just staring, completely traumatized and at a total loss for words. And his system notification just updates again, showing his deviation is still climbing. This guy has no idea how to be a hero. He then tries to gaslight the hostages, telling them, kids, what you saw was just some fancy holographic projection effects. As his tendrils literally squish the goon's head back onto his neck. This poor girl is not buying it for a second, her face a mask of pure, unadulterated terror. Yeah, you do not just unsee a decapitation, my guy. His system is screaming at him, his roll deviation is skyrocketing, and he is on the verge of going berserk. But he just plays it off, muttering, total accident, socializing really is a pain. He clenches his fist, deciding to try a different approach. That is when Blue Ark finally steps in, demanding, enough, just who are you? Our boy just smirks, calling himself a gray character who is not a hero or a villain, and then he hits Blue Ark with the most insane line. Trust me, we are going to be great friends. Blue Ark is not impressed, calling him out immediately. You killed those criminals. Minghuan just fires back with a cold dose of reality. Would you be happier if the hostages died instead? This hero holds his ground, saying killing is legally wrong, but our boy calls him boring, accusing him of just acting for the cameras. He then makes an offer. Let us talk somewhere private, Blue Ark, promising to find out what the hero really thinks inside. He opens a dark portal, stepping into a pocket dimension and leaving the choice to Blue Ark. The city's top hero hesitates, lightning crackling around him as he weighs his options. Inside the dimension, Minghuan waits, asking, so Mr. Blue Ark, are you willing to come meet me? He lands gracefully, completely in his element, putting the ball in the hero's court because the choice is entirely up to you. Blue Ark makes his choice, stepping right into the shadowy portal after him. Inside, Minghuan hands him a strange, pulsating piece of his own power, which immediately morphs into a tiny, air-shaped guide in the hero's palm. But back on the rooftop, Green Wing is absolutely losing it, screaming, I have put up with you guys long enough. Am I invisible to you? That is when another hero arrives on the scene, telling him to surrender quietly. He warns Green Wing that the whole area is surrounded by the Ability Users Association and there is no escape. But the new hero hesitates, realizing there is one big problem. He still thinks the hostages are with Green Wing, giving the villain all the leverage. Suddenly, a voice tells him to take a closer look, and you already know who that is. Green Wing glances over at the hostages and his face just drops in shock. He realizes he's been completely played, screaming, damn it, into the night. Just 1 minute later, Blue Ark reappears on a different rooftop, having used the guide. He is moving fast, crackling with energy, clearly on the hunt for our boy. He stops and calls out into the darkness, demanding, come on out. And Minghuan's shadowy tendrils emerge from the trees as he says, I knew you'd follow me up here. He reveals himself, hanging upside down like a bat, greeting him with a casual Mr. Blue Ark. Blue Ark is done with the games, demanding once more, who on earth are you? Our boy just shrugs it off, saying he does not have a code name yet, but he will get one soon, talking about the charm of being a public figure. He then pulls out a piece of paper, changing the subject with a smirk. More importantly, are not you curious what I am looking at? It is an old newspaper article about a tragic incident, a massive cover-up by the association involving a group called Rainbow Wing. This changes everything. He starts by calling out the hero's real name, Mr. Guke, and then drops the most brutal truth bomb. You were 13 when you saw your mother go boom and turn into a pile of meat, were not you. He lays out the hero's entire trauma, explaining how that day birthed a deep-seated hatred for corrupt ability users. This is why he became a hero, climbing the ranks of the association with unmatched performance, all for the sole purpose of finding the user who crushed his mother like an ant and getting revenge. Blue Ark is completely stunned, clutching his stomach as he tries to deny the truth, but our boy makes his offer. I am here to help you, Mr. Blue Ark. Let us work together. Promising to get him into Rainbow Wing so he can carry out a truly spectacular revenge. In exchange, he needs just one tiny, insignificant thing from the city's top hero. Blue Ark is completely on the back foot, asking what he wants, but Minghuan just turns to leave, saying he will be active in the city and will be counting on you from now on. This hero stops him, finally demanding to know how he knows his real identity. Our boy just smirks, telling him, the reason is simple. Before hitting him with the most broken line, because I can see exactly what is under anyone's mask. Blue Ark absolutely loses it, screaming, "Ridiculous," and powers up to attack, threatening, "Do you really think I cannot take you down?" But Minghuan effortlessly phases right through his attack, completely untouchable. This hero's lightning blast misses entirely, showing the massive gap in their power. Minghuan just floats there, taunting him about his injuries. "Should not you get treated first?" And with a final, casual "see you around, Blue Ark tilde," he just flies off, leaving the hero utterly defeated. Blue Ark is left standing alone in the rain, completely shattered. He clenches his fist, blood dripping from his knuckles, as the weight of his total defeat sinks in. Some time later, our boy makes his way back to his apartment complex under the stormy sky. He sneaks back into his own room through the window, thinking about how Blue Ark is still out there on patrol, even while badly hurt. And a system notification pops up, reminding him his main quest to form a cooperative relationship with the hero is a massive failure. He sighs, admitting, "Getting Gukia to trust me at this point was pretty much impossible." But it was not a total loss, because he still cleared the first phase of the quest and got some sweet stat points. Now he is just worried about what lame codename the public will give him after that chaotic debut. That is when his own status screen appears, revealing his real name is Gu Wenyu, and his base stats are all a pathetic G rank. This system gives him a rundown of what strength and speed actually do, along with spirit, which boosts his mental power. He decides instantly. In martial arts, speed is king, choosing to put his point there to avoid getting one-shotted. With a single tap, his reaction speed gets a nice little boost. He then pulls up his character skill tree, stepping into a digital space filled with branching paths of power. This system shows him 3 potential branches: hidden, frenzy, and vicious. He reveals his restraint detection skill is how he can read people's info just by touching them. This frenzy branch is his pure combat path, but he's got other plans for now. He decides raw power is not the priority, instead unlocking the vicious skill to help him track down his real targets. This system reveals his next skill: restraint suppression, letting him temporarily shut down the powers of anyone he binds. He immediately starts theory crafting, wondering just how much he needs to tie someone up for it to actually work. Deciding he will just find some unlucky test subject later, he unlocks the skill with a chillingly casual look. Yeah, this is definitely not the face of a hero. He then tries to access another broken feature, creating a whole new game character. But the system shuts him down, telling him he needs 3 split points and he has only got 1. He realizes with 2 characters, he could finally investigate that welfare home while having a perfect alibi. Just then, back in his room, he senses a powerful presence right outside his window. His eyes narrow, knowing exactly who has come for him. Blue Ark is at his door, lightning crackling from his gauntlet, ready to kick it down. He bursts into the room, ready for round 2. His eyes burning with rage, searching for the one who shattered his world. But the room is completely empty, making him think he was just being paranoid. And that is because our boy is not even there. We cut to a high-tech facility, where an announcement calls for restricted-class ability user, number 1002 Jaimingu. A man in a lab coat pulls up a chair, asking, interested in hearing about the ability users on the outside. This is his instructor, and he is talking to someone he calls little brother Jaimingu. This camera pans over to a sterile bed where someone is sleeping, and it is another version of our MC, sleeping peacefully with a strange collar around his neck. He wakes up, groggy and confused, greeting his instructor like it is a normal day. This instructor just smiles, saying, "Oh, you are in good spirits, that reminds me." About to drop another bombshell, he hits him with a test, asking with a creepy smile, "How did you know it is nighttime right now?" But our boy just claps back, "How would I know? You're the one who keeps coming to bother me when I am trying to sleep." This instructor just laughs it off, changing the subject to the real reason he is here. He pulls up a picture of our MC's shadow form, asking about this person, and drops the million-dollar question, "This is not you, is it?" This triggers a memory of the brutal rules in this prison, where even touching another person is forbidden. He remembers a girl with white hair screaming in agony after being zapped by her collar for getting too close. She tried to brush it off, telling him she is used to it, but the pain was all too real. He recalls asking her if the instructors forced her to question him just to get this visit. She just held up a blank notebook, ready to ask him something directly, but he knew it was a trap, thinking if she asked about his ability, they'd punish her for it. So he lied to protect her, knowing that if he revealed his true power, neither of them would ever get out alive. He just stared at the empty page, leaving her completely heartbroken by his refusal. She clutched the notebook, not understanding why he would not trust her. Back in the present, Jaimingu's expression is unreadable, hiding all that trauma. This memory ends with the instructor callously ordering them to take the girl away. He even used her as a bargaining chip, promising more visits if Jaimingu behaves. But our boy sees right through the manipulation, disgusted by their twisted definition of not hurting her. This instructor admits he knows it is all an act, telling him, "No normal 12-year-old boy thinks this much." He then flips the script, asking, "By the way, can I ask you a question?" before hitting him with the coldest ultimatum. "If you know I am going to destroy the world, why not just kill me?" This instructor just smirks, leaning in with a chilling question. "Do you want the truth?" Our boy does not even flinch, just telling him, "Say it." And the instructor reveals the real reason. They are terrified that killing him would unleash a power they cannot control. Mingu just laughs, sarcastically saying, "Great news. Knowing you will not erase me makes it easier to sleep." This kid's mind games are on another level, leaving the instructor completely speechless. He just tells him to get some rest and leaves, ending their little chat. But the second he is gone, our boy's eyes snap open, the act completely dropped. And just like that, his consciousness zips back to the outside world. A system notification confirms he is back in his game character, Gu Wenyu. But his little stunt with Blue Ark earned him some serious notoriety, triggering a codename update, his new official name on the streets, Black Pupa. He cannot help but smirk, impressed they came up with a name for him in less than a day. Now he's got a clear plan, find that lab, then get his real body and that girl, Kong Yuling, out. He looks out over the city, thinking about his final option if the quiet approach fails, remembering the smiling face of the girl he is trying to save. His eyes glow with pure killing intent as he makes a terrifying promise, "I will slaughter them all." But his planning is cut short by the sound of a door. As the handle to his room begins to turn, he has got company. His eyes widen in pure shock, realizing someone's back. But it is not a hero or an assassin. It is a girl with a tennis racket creeping into his room. She scans the place, forcing our boy to dive for cover, hiding under his blanket and praying she did not see him sneak back in. But her footsteps get closer and closer, until she rips the covers off, revealing his sister, Su Zimai, who looks absolutely furious. And right on cue, the system drops a brand new quest, find out what this girl is hiding. Before he can even process that, she raises a weapon, ready to bring it down on his head. For the first time, this guy looks genuinely terrified, yelling, "Wait, hold up, what are you doing?" But she just roasts him for being a lazy pig who sleeps until 3 in the afternoon. He quickly gets the rundown. This is Su Zimai, the 16-year-old sister of the body he is piloting. This whole family situation is a bit weird, with sons taking the dad's name and daughters taking the mom's. She huffs, saying she cannot be bothered with him, and turns to leave. But he can tell something's off, asking her what is wrong. That is when he sees the news report she was watching about last night's hostage situation. It is a full breakdown of his debut, detailing how he took down 5 criminals without a single civilian casualty. He just casually grabs a drink from the fridge, listening to a report about himself. This news officially designates the new vigilante as Black Pupa and slaps him with a B-rank observation notice. He just takes a sip, calmly processing that the world already has a power ranking system for people like him. He decides this is the perfect chance to use his new skill on his sister and knock out that quest. This system explains restraint detection. Just touch a human with his restraints and he will see all their stats and abilities. So he summons a tendril of pure shadow energy, sending it snaking across the room towards the completely oblivious girl. It creeps right up to her neck, just inches away from making contact. When her eyes snap open, glowing with a terrifying purple light, she felt that. Our boy is completely frozen, realizing he almost got caught red-handed. She looks around, confused, as he quickly retracts his power, playing it off. He smoothly walks over and offers her a cola, trying to act like nothing just happened. She takes it, but you can tell she is still on edge, wondering, what was that sudden sense of danger? He takes a sip, thinking his quest failed since he did not make contact. He figures he will have to actually see her use her powers to get the info he needs. But then the system drops her entire stat sheet anyway, revealing she is a D-rank exorcist with an A-rank skill. This changes everything, because he remembers there were only 2 known extraordinary races in the world. But now the third and final piece of the puzzle has appeared, the exorcist race. Their little moment is interrupted when someone else walks in, surprised to see them both. It is their brother, Guke, holding a bag of groceries and announcing he is cooking. He gives them a sharp look, saying, "Nobody is allowed to go out until after you have eaten." Our MC instantly recognizes him as Blue Ark, the hero he wrecked last night, and he is shocked the guy recovered so fast. But Guke is not done, dropping another bombshell with a serious look. "Dad said he's coming home tonight." But our boy is completely unfazed, just saying, if he wants to come, let him. His sister is worried they will fight again after 2 years apart, but he could not care less. He is too busy diving into the Superhuman Association's files, learning how this world ranks its monsters. And the power scale is insane, going from harmless all the way up to a legendary restricted class. T5 and T4 are basically your everyday low-tier Spurs, posing no real threat. T3 ogres are the elites, while T2 dragons are the absolute backbone of the entire association. But then you have T1 Calamity, the minimum requirement to even be considered for the legendary Rainbow Wing. And at the very top, T0 Restricted, a class so dangerous there has only ever been one in history, and they are supposedly dead. Our boy immediately connects the dots, wondering, are they talking about me? He realizes the people running that hellish lab must be from the association itself, which means if he attacks the lab to save himself and the girl, he is declaring war on the entire world. But instead of panicking, a new plan starts to form in his mind. He thinks, I should find a way to drag this family of mine in as free muscle. He figures it will not be too hard to manipulate them, especially since their mother's death already gave them a grudge against Rainbow Wing. With their connections and power, they'd be a force to be reckoned with, but his scheming is cut short when his brother calls out his name. Blue Ark holds a kitchen knife, his eyes glowing as he asks the most dangerous question. You were home all last night, right? Even his sister chimes in, saying he has been acting weird all day. The walls are closing in, and with his cover about to be blown, his entire plan to save the girl he swore to protect is on the line. He is internally freaking out but plays it cool, saying, I crashed right after dinner last night. But Blue Ark is not buying it, pressing him. Did you hear anything weird in the middle of the night? He lets it go for now, but you can tell he is still suspicious as hell. Just when he thinks he is in the clear, his sister gets right in his face, staring him down. She calls him out, saying he is talking way more than usual, which is a huge red flag. She just scoffs, calling him a pig for sleeping all day before turning away. Blue Ark then hits him with some heavy family advice, telling him not to be like their dad and ignore everyone. He even brings up their mom, reminding them how much better things were when she was around. Our boy just keeps quiet, thinking he knows nothing about family, since the only person he cared for was Kong Yuling. But their dysfunctional family moment is cut short by the sound of the front door opening. Sister's eyes go wide as she whispers, he is here, Tilda. She cautiously peeks around the corner, looking genuinely terrified. Her face just goes completely blank with shock. She turns back to her brother and drops the bomb. Dad's back. This entire room goes dead silent as the two brothers stare at the entrance, and the man who walks in has the most intimidating presence you have ever seen. This system immediately drops another quest, find out what this father, Minghuan, is hiding. Our boy just sizes him up, thinking, so this is the father. He notices the other two are trying to be invisible, realizing this is the perfect distraction. So while all eyes are on the dad, he starts summoning his shadow power, ready to strike. He sends a tendril of shadow energy slithering towards his dad's back, but the old man's eyes snap open, sensing the danger as a massive spirit cobra materializes behind him. In less than a second, his hand shoots out, grabbing our boy by the throat before he can even process what happened. He is completely stunned, thinking this old fox is way sharper than his sister, but at least the system confirms contact. His father's voice is pure ice as he asks, "What are you doing?" Thinking on his feet, our boy plays it off, saying, Dad, I just wanted to brush the dust off your shoulder." This old man's eyes narrow, but the killing intent slowly fades. "Let's go," his expression softening as he apologizes to Wenyu. He explains he's been living on the edge for 2 years and his nerves are completely shot, but he cannot shake that strange, dark feeling he just had, a power he recognizes. It reminds him of a past trauma, of ghostly eyes piercing his very soul. Meanwhile, our boy gets a notification, quest complete. He got the info he needed, but the new quest is insane, form a cooperative relationship with the super criminal Ghost Bell. What? He is completely floored, thinking, Ghost Bell, the legendary super criminal. And then the truth hits him like a freight train. His father, Minghuan, is Ghost Bell. This guy's stats are off the charts, with an A+++ rank in strength and a busted ability the association has been trying to stop for years. It all makes sense now. The dad is using himself as bait to lure out the Rainbow Wing member who killed his wife. But the crazy part is his brother has the exact opposite plan, joining the association to hunt the killer from within. Father and son, both seeking the same revenge but taking paths that will force them to become mortal enemies. This brother absolutely unloads on him, saying, "You vanished for 2 years, and your head is so full of the dead you do not care how much your kids are hurting." His fist clenches, crackling with power as he asks if his dad ever considered that they were just as broken by their mom's death. Even his sister joins in, her voice shaking with anger as she says they hid their own pain just for him, but he treated them like air. This father just stands there silent, as she tells him she never should have given her hope that he'd come back. Our boy has had enough of this family drama and starts to walk away, but his dad calls out to him. And he hits him with the lowest blow possible, asking, "Have you already forgotten your own mother?" That single question flips a switch in our MC's head. He absolutely snaps, grabbing the old man by the collar and screaming, "Shut it!" With the other two watching in shock, he roars, "You have no idea what I have done." And for a second you can see the brother actually feels that, thinking about his own hidden struggles, but he knows this has to stop. Blue Ark steps in, grabbing our MC's wrist to break his grip on their father. His eyes are glowing with that same blue energy from the fight, telling him to back down. His father just looks on, his face a mask of regret and exhaustion. Our boy glares back, the tension in the room about to explode. But just as the two brothers are about to throw down, they realize someone is missing. Their sister ran away during the chaos. Blue Ark's expression hardens with resolve. He looks out into the night and makes a promise. "I am going to bring her back." And just like that, the hunt is on in the sprawling city. Our boy just scoffs, thinking this whole soap opera family is a mess he is not built for. But it is the perfect cover to move on to the next phase of his own plan. He slips out into the night and gets a text from an anonymous number asking, "Do you believe me now? Started to doubt your father yet?" He just hits back with a simple, "Who are you?" This reply is chilling. "I will use this name, Black Pupa, that should jog your memory." That name hits him hard, a ghost from a past he cannot escape. Black Pupa taunts him about tracing his location, but our boy knows the terrifying truth. The messages are coming from inside the house. He admits his dad is hiding something, but Black Pupa just dangles the info, saying he will talk after they cooperate. This mysterious texter has one last question for him. So our boy asks the dumbest thing possible. Are you, my old man? And immediately spits out his drink. Black Pupa's response is pure savagery, basically calling him an idiot for even thinking that. Getting serious, our MC demands to know what he really wants, and the answer is a straight-up power move. If I wanted to be your enemy, you'd already be done. He even points out he could expose our MC's identity and use his siblings as leverage, forcing our boy to agree to a temporary transactional alliance. This system dings, updating his main quest. Now he has to team up with his brother Blue Ark and earn his trust. But just as he is processing this, his sister pops up out of nowhere asking, "Nailed what?" He's completely caught off guard, trying to play it cool and tell her their dad and brother sent him. She just gives him this dead-eyed stare, clearly not buying his act for a second. As they walk back, she drops a bomb, saying, "You have really changed," noticing he actually seems to care for once. She tries to brush him off, saying she's just heading to a friend's place who is coming to pick her up, but he is in full troll mode, asking, "Little sis, do not tell me she is your girlfriend." He keeps pushing with a smug look, asking, "Then who is she?" Just then a woman appears and his sister introduces her as her teacher. This teacher gets right in his face, making him jump back in surprise. His sister quickly introduces them, telling her teacher that he is just her brother, but our boy immediately clocks it, thinking, her teacher from the exorcist side, huh? This teacher, Kikiru, introduces herself with a handshake, and you can just feel the power rolling off her. This second they make contact, his system goes wild, triggering his passive detection skills. And her stats are pretty damn impressive, a second-order exorcist with an SS rank item. He's not too worried though, thinking she's still no match for the two monsters he calls family. But this teacher is sharp, and you can tell she senses something is off about him. He dips out, leaving them to talk, while his main quests get another update. He has still got 2 major investigations left, finding out what his sister and his best bro are hiding. This quest is not complete because he does not know his sister's exact rank, so he decides he will have to tail her later. As he walks away, the teacher cannot shake that weird feeling she got from their handshake. His sister accidentally lets it slip, asking, "What is wrong, Captain?" And the captain drops a heavy line, saying, "Your brother seems a little unusual." This sister is completely clueless, just looking back at her confused. But her captain knows something is up, her own dark aura flaring as she wonders what his deal really is. Her power manifests as a terrifying film reel monster, and she thinks, only one way to find out, test him. This entire alleyway warps as her demons materialize, and the sister is completely freaking out, but she just steps in, telling her captain, "That is enough, do not tell me you have fallen for my brother." This captain plays it cool, but she has already figured it out. The sister has no idea her brother is an ability user. She decides to drop it for now, thinking it is none of her business anyway. So she lights up a smoke and offers to let her crash at her place for the summer. This sister calls her out for being a chain smoker, but the captain just smirks, saying she cannot let her brother's precious little sister hang out with a bad influence. Turns out they are taking a trained demon to Tokyo for Exorcist Association business tomorrow. Back in his room, our boy checks his stats, and honestly they are pretty pathetic, all C rank across the board. But he's got 3 unassigned points, and he immediately dumps them all into strength, getting a nice little C++ boost. With his stats sorted, he pulls up the skill tree panel to plan his next move. His core ability is pitch black restraints, with a bunch of locked branches just waiting to be unlocked. He knows he needs a backup plan in case this body dies, so he invests a point into the restraint truth skill. This new skill lets him force people to speak the truth, and he has already got a target in mind, the old director. He remembers the shadowy figures from the welfare home who dragged him out without anyone noticing. His eyes glow red as he clenches his fist, vowing, "Old director, pray you can give me an answer I am satisfied with." He's still got 1 skill point left, and the next upgrade is Restraint Color Shift, a straight-up invisibility cloak. He unlocks it immediately, realizing it is the perfect skill for his glass cannon build, letting him get close to powerful targets. This next skill in the tree is even crazier, Restraint Trap, letting him lay down invisible bindings for his enemies. He loves how devious it is, but he is out of points. And then the system drops a bombshell. His exclusive training system is called the Social Superstar System. He's not just out of points, he's playing a completely different game called the Social Superstar System, where he gets rewards for making allies. And then we get the biggest twist yet. His consciousness is in full split mode, controlling the body we have been following 24/7. Because his real body, a restricted class user named Jaimingmi, is locked up in some high-tech facility. An instructor tells him they are going to let him meet some of the other kids they have locked up, but our real MC is no fool, immediately suspicious of their motives. This instructor just says they are other kids like him, and he should get along with them just fine. So Jaimingmi hits him with a smirk, asking, "Are not you afraid we will team up and plan a prison break?" What? This instructor is cold though, replying that they know everything about every kid there, except him. Our boy plays it cool, asking about the other two extraordinary races he was promised info on. This instructor reveals their hand, admitting they suspect he is not an ability user at all but an exorcist or a curio wielder. This is exactly what he wanted, unlocking a key intel system that boosts his future characters based on the info he gathers. His world-building progress is pathetic for exorcists and curio wielders, meaning he's been playing blind this whole time. He realizes holding off on making new characters was the right call, otherwise he'd have missed this huge power-up. His plan is simple: drain this guy for every drop of intel, then build an absolutely broken new character. This instructor asks which faction he wants to learn about first, and as he is about to answer, his real body is suddenly racked with intense pain. He collapses, screaming in his mind, "It is like someone just hammered a nail into my skull."